All right.
Let's
B
go.
team.
It's March.
It's March.
It's March.
And Muller's excited, and
March
we
here.
have our brackets printed out and filled out. Gass is going to have a little segment as he is filling it out, so that's going to be fun. But Muller, he is the March Madness king here, knows more ball than any of us combined. We're going to let him have the floor on his bracket. So, Muller, go ahead, my boy.
Yeah, so March is here. This is the greatest time of the year for sports. The greatest time. You got free agency for football. You got the draft coming up. You got college ball.
Opening day.
Opening day right around the corner. You got NBA closing down shop.
Hockey
closing down shop. You can't argue that this is the best time of the year for a sports bettor. Like in any sports fan in general. If you have a team in any league, like this is the time to get into it. You got soccer coming down the stretch as well. So yeah, it's fantastic. But we got the tournament bracket just came out this afternoon. So these are instant reactions, but I mean it's college kids, so it's not like it's NBA where trades can happen, all that BS. But Connecticut was the 1 seed, and I'm looking at this East side. We're just going to get right into it and break down the tournament. Connecticut's the number 1 seed. They're number 1 seed for a reason. I've had a future on them since August to win it this year, and I have not changed my mind on that. They are the winner of my bracket. I don't even need to go through the rest of this to tell you that that's my winner this year. Now, in saying that, Auburn, I think, does pose the biggest threat to them, even though I do think Iowa State and BYU can maybe slip in there and give them a little trouble. I think Auburn, that game in the Sweet 16, should both teams show up there, will be one of the games of the tournament. You will not need a shot clock for that game. These two teams are going to be up and down. It's going to be an electric factory. I really like the outlook on this region in general. I would say it's favorite heavy, as it should be, being that the number 1 team is in there. But I still like Iowa State. I mean, they just beat Houston by 30 the other night to win the Big 12. Like they're a problem. But can they beat UConn? I don't know. I don't see it. I like UConn a lot there. 2 games that I think will actually be swing games in this tournament for our betting pools is Wazoo versus Drake and BYU versus Duquesne. Duquesne showed that they can play basketball, which, I mean, is good since they are a basketball team. But they got hot. They had their moment. They tried to lose the VCU, gave up a 20-0 run today. I do think BYU wins that game. And then the Wazoo-Drake game, I mean, Drake's a good team. That's a 7-10 matchup to watch. Washington State's coming off one of the best seasons they've had. And, like, they kind of got screwed here having to play Drake, who is always good. But this year especially, like, they're ballers. They could pull that one off. Yeah, Mike?
Real quick, I just noticed, because I also have UConn going all the way. Any concern that they play a team named Stetson?
No. I've watched Stetson. I've bet on Stetson. I like Stetson. But
Stetson Bennett, no correlation
No,
there?
no. I mean, there might be in the fact that Stetson Bennett no longer does ball. Like, this team is not going to be playing ball after this game. So that's where I'm at on that one. Let's move over to the Midwest here. They have who was the number 1 team for basically the entire season in Houston. Houston lost to Iowa State the other night, like I said, by 30 in the big. That was one of their first losses in 2 months. I think it was their first loss in 2 months. So I do think that this is a Kickstarter, and I have them kind of cleaning house here. But I like the look of this region. You got a Houston team that's very good. You got an A&M team that can cause mayhem. Nebraska's good too. That's a 9-8 game that will be good, but I like A&M there. Wisconsin just won the Big Ten. But let me tell you, the Dukes, I think that there's a chance that we see a Duke versus Duke battle in the second round of this tournament. Duke is coming in a little bit underwhelming, I would say. They're playing a good Vermont team that is kind of running their conference for a number of years now. I thought UMass Lowell will pull it out, but they did not. So Vermont gets in there and will be playing Duke. And Duke's coming off 2 very bad losses. Like, it's okay to lose to North Carolina, but not in the way that they did. And then they came into the tournament and lost immediately again. So I like them to win that one and bounce back. And then they'll eventually lose to Houston, a powerhouse. Like, Duke's just not powerful enough right now. Watch out for them next year. They probably will win the tournament. And then we got a few storylines here at the bottom. You know, Kentucky is just a young team. And they're a team that you like. Young teams are what you should be scared of. But what's more scary is a team that's got that March magic. And NC State has a big man that is lovable. Looks like he is Jason Kelsey. I'm saying a very fit, large man, and he moves like Kareem. And I think that NC State is going to carry that magic into this game. I don't like Texas Tech. They cost me money a few times this year. I will be taking NC State. Call it what you want. Call it a dumb pick. Call it a heart pick, but that is where I'm at. I am not using my head there. I'm going straight with March Magic. NC State to win there. And then you have a very good Marquette team that just lost to UConn without their best player. He'll be back this week, and he'll be in every game going forward. He was the Big East Player of the Year last year. And I could see Cole coming in and really changing the dynamic of that team, really getting them going. But again, Houston's a juggernaut there. So you're looking at a Final Four in that region alone of Houston, Duke, Kentucky, and Marquette. Like, that could legitimately be a Final Four on its own. It's wild.
I heard juggernaut. He said juggernaut.
I don't
Juggernaut.
care. Listen,
that was good. It was funny.
Listen, Wes, shut the fuck up.
NC State, that big man is massive.
Massive.
I love the story as well. I
Yes.
have them beating.
And speaking of
Texas Tech.
storylines, Indiana State got snubbed today, so we will not get Goggles. Will not get
No.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar
Damn.
in this tournament. They were one of two teams I thought got severely snubbed. St. John's being the other. The Johnnies were playing really good basketball at the end there. They just had a very bad stretch in the middle. So no Rick Pitino this year. Probably good for most women at the Final Four. Looking at the West now, UNC is very good. Very good. I know they just lost to NC State, but they are very good. I can't see them losing, but I'm going to hit you with one here. St. Mary's got screwed. They have to play Grand Canyon, who's one of the best teams of those low conferences that just are not allowed to have a top seed for whatever reason. And St. Mary's, I get it that you guys got screwed. You're the same rank as Gonzaga. They're also a 5 seed. And somehow you're a 5 seed, but you beat them twice this year. You won your conference. Doesn't make much sense, and you get a gift in getting to play one of the best lower teams in the country. I'm taking Grand Canyon in this game. I'm also looking at the game that they'll have to play next in Alabama. Alabama has been dog shit. They have been so bad down the stretch. Real bad. Like, some of the worst Alabama basketball I've seen in a couple years. And that is exactly why I am taking them to beat North Carolina and get to the Elite Eight.
Who, Alabama?
Alabama. Because I just love the optics of that. I love them coming in as an underdog. I love them coming in after last season when there was a whole... They come in with drama and they bring it. Last year they had the kids shooting people. They come in and they just bring it to the Final Four. This year they're coming in playing like dog shit. Maybe they need to go shoot someone at something. I don't promote that, but go shoot something. Go to a shooting range. I don't know.
I got them in my Elite Eight as well.
I'm sending them to the Elite Eight. I don't think North Carolina has that dog. It's unfair that they have a guy in Baycott who is in his 12th year of college playing basketball.
That's insane.
It's
I
not
still can't believe he's
not actually his 12th year,
it's
but
like
he's Willie Cully Steining in this thing.
Is it 6?
I think it's 6. Feels like 12.
What a guy.
But now staying in this region here, Baylor is one of my favorite teams in the country. They can win on any given night. And their point guard should be considered the best point guard in this draft coming up because he's unreal. He will not be picked like that in this draft, but he is very, very good, very mature on the ball, can make any pass, can shoot any shot. He is fantastic, and I think he takes down not only Colgate, who all the Patriot Leaguers are going to love. I think he takes down Clemson, who is coming in very good after a great season. And I think he takes down the highest scoring team in the country in Arizona. I don't think Arizona is going to be able to deal with this Baylor's offense. And I'm sending Baylor to my Final Four. Take it or leave it. They're losing to UConn. Now, over to the last one in the South. I preach I preach and I preach and I preach. Purdue is the worst team in the country.
They spelled it wrong. It's actually Perude.
I just saw that. That is a very good catch. So Purdue, I hate this team. I despise this team. I love Montana State, and I think Montana State is actually going to win. But in my bracket, I'm going to have Purdue winning. And you know what? I have Purdue going all the way to the Elite Eight because you know what? There's no way that they follow up last year's debacle with another debacle this year. I think that this coach is too good to let that happen. I think the team is just getting a year older, and they're too good to let that happen. I think they get to the Elite Eight, and we get to see one of the best big man battles that we've seen in some time between Creighton and Purdue. They have two of the tallest guys in the country, and I think that's going to be an absolute grind of a game. And I'm going full Big East heart here, and I'm taking Creighton to the Final Four. My final, and I'll give you this right now, there's going to be 145 points scored at least in this final. It's going to be high scoring, high tempo. The only way that doesn't happen is if UConn pulls a Marquette game like they did yesterday, and it's 2-0 going into the 10-minute mark, which made me want to lose my mind because I had the over. But I'm taking UConn and Houston, UConn to win it, 45 points or more.
Wow. That's good.
That's my bracket breakdown.
There it is. Clap it up, clap it up. March is here, March is here. I love that. Was great insight, great points.
I feel like this is way better for Gassy because last year we kind of threw him into the fire with absolutely no knowledge of the tournament. We didn't even let him know what the seeds were of the teams. So there was, and the fact that he did as well as he did in that bracket, I mean,
I have the
he does, yeah. He
March Magic for sure.
That was solid, Colin. Honestly.
So now I'm going to let Gas slide in here. We're going to do some Gassetology, but I have one more announcement. Just like we said the other day, we will be releasing at least one parlay a day, just like we did for the 24 Days of Christmas throughout the entire tournament. Mike's pointing at me. I think they want me to just make the parlay, and I think that's what's going to happen. We're going to win some money. I promised you guys at least 2, 3, 4. There's 12 days, so I'm at least going to do like 20 parlays for you guys. So we're coming in hot.
Or just a best bet, too. Well, whatever you think.
We're coming in
your
hot.
segment.
Maybe a best bet.
I don't know. I bet on darts when we did Christmas parlays.
That was
I will stay away from
and you
this.
won.
And I won.
Yeah. So with that being said,
good job,
Gas,
Kyle.
get in here.
Well done. Well done. Now, I guess I will.
Yeah.
Muller, if you want it, here. You can write it on this if you want. I know there's not a lot of room. So, Gassy, I will. Well, no, you're going to be here anyway, so. I'll read off the teams.
Why don't we just let Gas write his bracket? Do you want to do that?
I just pressed a button.
I think it's still going.
Do you see the? Is it peaking? Yeah. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, you can write the bracket if you want. But he wants. What do you think?
How about you guys write it so it goes faster? I gotta concentrate. I gotta get it. I gotta get in my zone here.
Do you want me to like read them off to you? We'll start somewhere. I'll give you the
Yeah,
seedings.
yeah. So you guys read off the game, the matchup, and I'll give my answer.
Gassy, we're just gonna go straight down the line here. So you let me know when you're ready, and
Should we do region by region, and then we'll do the final four on its own?
yeah, that's fine. We could do East, West,
Yeah.
and then we'll go up Midwest and South.
Yeah.
Does that work for you guys?
Ready to go.
All right. So Muller, you stop me whenever if you question Gassy's pick, if you want to throw out some facts. Gassy, you ready? Let's do it, dude. We got Connecticut, Stetson, one seed Connecticut, and
UConn easily.
UConn easy. All right. We have 8 seed Florida Atlantic and 9 seed Northwestern.
Northwestern.
5 seed San Diego State, 12 seed UAB.
SDSU.
There you go. We have number 4 seed Auburn, 13 seed Yale.
I'm going Auburn for that one.
Okay, nice. Now we have number 6 seed BYU and 11 seed Duquesne.
BYU.
We have number 3 seed Illinois, 14 seed Morehead State.
Illinois.
Okay, number 7 Washington State, number 10 ranked Drake.
Give me Drake.
We're seeded. Number 2 seed Iowa State, number 15 South Dakota State.
Iowa State.
Okay, so a lot of favorites there. It's looking like except Drake.
I like the Drake pick. That's going to be a good game. I said it would be a good game. It's going to be a good game.
Okay. Guess we're going to move down over the West region. We got number 1 seeded UNC against number 16, either Howard or Wagner.
UNC.
We have number 8 Mississippi State, number 9 seeded Michigan State.
Michigan State
there. 5.
I have a little stat for you.
Go ahead.
So Tom Izzo, as a underdog in the tournament, he bats 63%. It's pretty good.
It's pretty damn good. 5-seeded St. Mary's, 12-seeded Grand Canyon.
Give me St. Mary's.
Here we go. 4-seeded Alabama, 13-seeded Charleston.
Bama.
Okay. Number 6-seeded Clemson, 11-seeded New Mexico.
New Mexico.
3-seeded Baylor, 14-seeded Colgate.
Baylor.
Okay. 7-seeded Dayton, 10-seeded Nevada.
Taking Nevada.
Nice. Number 2, Arizona, 15-seeded Long Beach State.
Arizona.
Okay.
Oh, I have another stat for you because you might want to change your pick. You can let me know. Long Beach State actually they mutually agreed to part ways with their coach a few weeks ago. And then the team just continued to win and actually won their conference and got a berth into the tournament. So their coach is actually fired. So that kind of this week we had 2 teams playing for a conference title. One team's coach was actually fired, still coaching them, and one other one was Temple, and they were shaving points all year, got called out, and then they basically had to win every game because their lives were on the line. Yeah.
That makes me like Arizona even more.
Got it. All right, me too.
Before you move on, Muller, what do you think of the west side of the bracket right now?
I like it.
And the east?
I like it a lot. We have a few differences between him and I, but I like it a lot.
Okay, nice. Yeah,
East is good.
I have a lot more underdogs on my mind. It's a disaster, but it's going to be good.
The underdogs are coming.
Yeah,
They're
the
on this
underdogs
side of
are
the
on this side.
bracket. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, so we're opposite there. All right, so we'll start with the north side here, Midwest, north side. Jesus Christ, the top. Houston, number 1 seed, number 1 seed, and then Longwood, number 16. Houston. Okay, we have Nebraska, number 8, Texas A&M, number 9.
A&M.
Okay, we have Wisconsin, number 5, JMU, number 12.
JMU.
Okay. We have Duke, number 4, and the good old Vermont, number 13.
It's got to be Vermont.
And it's got to be Vermont, man. Texas Tech, number 6, NC State, 11.
Give me NC State.
Nice. Kentucky, number 3, and then Oakland, number 14.
Kentucky.
Florida, number 7, Boise State, or Colorado, number 10.
I'll take the Gators.
There you go. We have Marquette, number 2, Western Kentucky, number 15.
Western Kentucky.
Damn, there you go. So, moving on. Number 1 is Purdue, or number 16, Grambling State, or Montana State.
So this is going to be my big upset. I'm going Montana State over Purdue.
So let me ask you, if you
So if you pick Grambling or Montana State,
you'll get the
switches to
points.
whatever it is.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so Montana or Grambling, nice. So moving on here, we got Utah State number 8 and then TCU number 9.
TCU.
Okay, we have Gonzaga number 5, McNeese number 12,
Gonzaga.
Kansas number 4, Samford number 13,
Kansas.
and then we have South Carolina number 6, Oregon number 11.
SC.
Okay, number 3, Creighton, number 14, Akron.
I'll take Creighton.
Okay, we have number 7, Texas, and then number 10, Virginia or Colorado State.
Virginia.
Nice.
I gotta get. So I know you just picked Virginia, but for the love of God, Colorado State, please beat this team. I hate this team. They score 45 points a game and they win. It is the least fun basketball I've ever watched in my life, and they ruined my tournament last year. Continue.
All right, we got the last one. Number 2, Tennessee. Number 15, St. Peter's.
Tennessee.
All right, so we have the first round done. Muller, what do you think so far? And what do you think, Gas? I want to get your opinion too. It's good?
There's a few that I know are very, 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 very long shots.
I made some
Like
dangerous
Western
picks
Kentucky.
on the right side of the bracket. That was a dangerous pick.
Yeah, Western Kentucky was very dangerous, being that Marquette is literally getting healthier by 2 of their best players. But I like it. I like the confidence.
The 1 seed losing for Purdue is also
Love it.
a long shot,
Love
but
it.
I'm taking it.
I want to actually like more than the Western Kentucky one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so second round.
To get to the Sweet 16.
So we have UConn and then Northwestern.
UConn.
Okay. We have San Diego State or Auburn.
Auburn.
Okay, Auburn moves on. Now we have BYU or Illinois. Or, BYU or Illinois. I'm sorry.
BYU.
Okay. Then we have Drake or Iowa State.
Iowa State.
There you go. Okay, that's filled. We have, moving on, UNC or Michigan State.
UNC.
Okay. We have St. Mary's and Alabama.
I'm going Bama.
Okay. We have New Mexico and Baylor.
Going New Mexico.
Yes. And then we have Nevada and Arizona.
Give me Nevada.
There we go, dude. I love it. Okay. All right. Moving on. Guys, we're up top here to the right. We have Houston and then Texas A&M.
Houston.
Okay. We have JMU and Vermont.
Vermont.
Vermont's going. We have NC State and then Kentucky.
NC State.
There it is. Florida and Western Kentucky.
Florida.
Nice. It's really not bad, honestly. And then we're moving on here. Montana State or Grambling State against TCU.
Montana State.
Nice. We have Gonzaga and Kansas.
Gonzaga.
Okay. We have South Carolina and Creighton.
South Carolina.
Okay. And then last but not least, we have Virginia and Tennessee.
Virginia.
Virginia moves on. All right. So that is the second round. We are now moving to the Sweet 16. Any... Nope. All right, let's keep it moving, guys. So we got up top here to the left, UConn and Auburn.
UConn.
Okay. We have BYU and Iowa State.
Iowa State.
Iowa State moves on. Okay. Now we have UNC and Bama.
Bama.
Okay. And then New Mexico and Nevada.
New Mexico.
Yes, Gas. So me and Gas have the same scenario in the Western bracket. I have Bama playing New Mexico.
I hope it works.
I'm not going to say who beats who there, but we'll move on. Up top to the right, we have Houston and Vermont.
Houston.
There we go. We have NC State and Florida.
Florida.
Get you sure?
And then here we have Montana State or Grambling State against Gonzaga.
Gonzaga.
Zags move on.
Montana State's run of a lifetime comes to an end, unfortunately. If they even make it to the tournament.
Right. And then we have South Carolina and Virginia.
South Carolina.
All right. So the Elite Eight. We have UConn and Iowa State.
UConn.
UConn moves on. We have Bama and New Mexico.
Bama.
Come on, man. I had New Mexico.
You're really riding with New Mexico.
I don't know why, man. I don't get it. They caught my eye. Okay, on the other side, we got Houston and Florida.
Houston.
Houston moves on. And then we have Gonzaga and South Carolina.
Gonzaga.
When's the last time Gonzaga's made it to the Final Four?
2 years ago.
Yeah, it was recent, right?
Yeah.
Is that when they had like
They had the yes. Oklahoma City. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Final Four, guys. Here we are. So you have UConn and Bama. Oh, it's a tough one.
I want to take Bama, but I got to go UConn.
UConn it is. And then we have Houston and Gonzaga.
We'll go Houston.
All right. So the battle of the number one seeds, is that correct? Yeah. UConn and Houston. We got
Got to be UConn.
UConn. So all three of us have UConn winning.
We are officially a UConn podcast. Should we? We should get we gotta get UConn shirts, like
That's
matching
fine.
ones, so that when they're in the final, we can go out. Yeah, we gotta do that.
I'll write UConn on a white T-shirt.
Maybe that's what we do. We just we make those shirts that like pro players wear. They're like, oh, my kid made the shirt. We should find. All right, never mind.
Since I'm riding with New Mexico until the Final Four, I'm going to be putting big money on them every single game if they continue to win with the spread. I will be putting at least $100 down on New Mexico against Baylor, plus points. We're always taking the points. They will cover, and we will roll that over until I lose.
That's going to be a really fun one day.
Yeah, well, just the
Yes,
New
it
Mexico is my team right now until the Final Four. So, Gassy, I want to hear your thoughts on your bracket. What do you think? I mean, it's not bad. Here, show them. I kind of like it. I like that it's very diversified.
I don't know anything about college basketball, anything at all, but I think it's a good bracket. People who really know college basketball, they don't make good brackets because every year it's
like horse betting.
It's a crapshoot. You never know. So you got to throw in wild cards.
Yeah.
I have essentially the same bracket.
I think you actually
On that side, on the left side of the bracket, we have a very similar
We
bracket.
have the same one.
You took a lot of favorites in the left side, but you also threw in a couple like underdogs. I think you mixed it up really nicely, but not like too much. I think I did a little too much here, but I think it's good. I think your like Sweet 16 and your Elite 8 is pretty solid. I mean, again, I don't know shit either, but
A lot of these games, like I'm going to let you guys know this, a lot of the games are coin flips.
yeah, for sure.
Like this is the closest season we've had in a while. Like no one really knows, but we know. Like UConn and Houston are the best teams. They are, like hands down, the best teams. But in saying that, both of them have consistently lost games that they probably should win.
Mine
That
is
goes for
fucking-
the entire tournament. Now that being said, Houston and UConn both have like 5 losses, but like the rest of them, it's like 8 lost teams.
I have UNC and Purdue losing right off the bat.
Yeah.
Creighton in the Final Four. I got Wisconsin beating Marquette. This is gonna be fun. I gotta put this in.
JMU.
I'm putting this into ESPN, and hopefully I'll win some money.
Yeah.
So is it true if you win the bracket, you get like a massive payment?
If you get it perfect.
Yeah, like perfect bracket.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, I know.
But that's Gassetology, boys.
Yeah, that was good.
Gassetology is back.
2024.
2024. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to watch this. March is here. We're finally getting back into more things to talk about with sports, and we shall go from here. We're going to have a couple videos out. Obviously, Muller mentioned his March Madness bracket, March Madness parlays. That's going to now be a thing, kind of like our Christmas parlays. So keep monitoring that once that comes out. I hope everyone has a great March with March Madness. Win some money, and hopefully you'll be riding Muller's bets. We will see you soon.
Peace.
Let's go.